Sacral authority. Hey, what up? I love this authority, y'all. This is probably the one I'm the most jealous of, to be honest. It sounds really cool. So the sacral authority is really the epitome of the gut reaction. When people say, follow your gut, what does your gut say? This is it. And it's like a full body, or a full body, If it's not either of those, it's a maybe another time, or ask me in another way, because it's happening now. So if somebody's asking you, hey, do you want to do this thing? And you're not feeling a big yes or no, then it's like, ask me in another way, or maybe it's in another time. The thing with the sacral is that it really needs something to respond to. Now, the sacral is for the generators and the manifesting generators. No other type has the sacral lit up. And you'll see in the strategy that for generators, it's to respond. For mani-gens, it's to respond and initiate. And the response is there because of the sacral. It needs something to respond to. So if you have the sacral authority, a good way to get in touch with it is to just continuously ask yourself questions. Like you wake up and you say, do I want coffee? And it's like, then go get coffee. Or like, hey, do I want to go hang out with that person? And they're like, then don't do it. Or, if you get voluntold to do something at work and your sacral's like, no, we're not doing that. Then say no, because the sacral is the source of life force energy. And if it's saying, no, don't do that, then it's saying you don't have the energy for that right now. The hard thing about generators that I've noticed, and manifesting generators, is that y'all have such an amazing aura. It's like so magnetic. People are just drawn to you. And then with your sacral lit up, then people are drawn to that too, because you have this natural energy just radiating that most of us don't have, or some of us don't have. So it's very magnetic. People are drawn to you, and then they ask you for help because you have that energy. And because you're such a big-hearted person and you just love your people, you really want to help. But sometimes your sacral says, no, don't do that. You don't have the energy for that. And you still do it because you love the person. It's totally fine, but think back to how that worked out for you. You probably ended up a little angry. You're probably really frustrated. You were probably like, oh man, I'm exhausted and I don't really want to be around that person, and I'm mad that I did that. Well, your sacral was telling you. And so it's okay to say no. Just know that when you stand up for yourself in that way, and when you stand in your authority in an authentic, loving way, then it empowers other people to stand up for themselves in an authentic, loving way as well. And that just creates more harmonious relationships. It's pretty awesome. The other thing I've noticed with the sacral is that since we're conditioned to make decisions out of our minds instead of our bodies, that the mind can take over pretty quickly, because the sacral responds. It's like, yes, no, but then the brain is like, well, is that really a yes? Because what if you do this and then that person gets mad? And then what happens if you do this? And then let's just think about, maybe you should wait a little bit because stop. You've been there. You've been there. Just stop. Breathe, check back in with your sacral. Say, thanks, brain. You're doing awesome work. I love you, but this isn't your wheelhouse. Me and sacral, we got it. So check back in with that and lean into it. Is it a yes? Is it a no? Go with that. If you love somebody with a sacral authority, but you don't have it yourself, the best way to support them is to ask them yes or no questions. Give them something to respond to. If you're just like, hey, what do you want to do for dinner? Oh my gosh, that's going to be so frustrating for them. But if you're like, hey, I was thinking either tacos or spaghetti for dinner. What sounds good to you? Then they'd be like, tacos or whatever. Give them yes or no questions. Like, do you want to go to the park today? Yes or no? So give them something to respond to. That is really supportive for them. It helps them get in touch with their sacral. It helps y'all's communication. It's a beautiful thing. So that's the sacral authority. Make sure you're talking to it every day. Make sure you're listening to it every day and honoring it, and just let it guide you. It's a great thing, man. And also know how much of a gift it is. So if somebody else can't just follow their gut, they don't just know deep within what's right for them or not, it's okay. They have a different authority. I love y'all.